Good evening, friends. Welcome to this thing, to the Soviet simulator. Yes, TBD2. 6, 5, 5. What is it? I think this should be correct. If we do this, it should say here what number we're on, maybe. 65, yes. Welcome to TBD2, number 65, on the 13th of March of the year 2100. And if I do not disremember this, on when the last century shift, when it turned the year 2000, that represented 100 years of gameplay since the world was initially generated and such. And if that was reasonably correct then, this ought to mean that it is now 200 years since this world was initialized, which may explain a little bit of the slight performance issues that we're experiencing here. But here is the latest addition to the farms, and this will be the last farm, I'm pretty sure. Look at this, the tractors are out in the fields. Very good. Sowing in progress. You have not sown yet, but you will. And out here too, I think that you will sow. It's the 15th of March. Yes, it's no. Take it easy. Yes. Look here, they are sowing. They are sowing too. And we even have. Wait a minute, we have a little thing, don't we? Yes, we have a little thing. We can look at. Not quite there, but if we look here, yes. This thing. Yes, indeed. This is, how it goes with the crop cycle. We're in October. 12,000 tons. Some trains come in, some trains go out. Well, they all come in and out, but you know what I mean. Some bring stuff in and some take stuff out. It's probably what I meant to be on about. But yeah, that's fun and everything. But anyway, the problem is now that here the game is not very enjoyable at this point. As I can hit pause and then we can move around like almost bearably. But if the game is running, then no. It's just not bearable anymore. It's hopeless. It's what it is. I think the only thing to do is, see if it works. Basically. Did we last year, did we import any crops, or are we now self-sufficient on crops? No crops were imported. Very good. Very good. Then we are finally caught up on this crop business. In other news, in the economy and such, in the domestic production and consumption last year, we made 44,500 something tons of crops, and the consumption was 45,000 tons overproduction we have now. Very good. Very, very good. Finally, I'd say. Average cost of one workday is apparently now 14,500 rubles. Pretty well paid, these people, I'd say. Or inflation is just has been so rampant throughout history here. Yes, we can have a look. How's it been? What is the inflation rate? Not that I'm going to be able to make it out from this, but one could if one wanted to. Yes, 1 million rubles. This was worth. No, colleague, you cannot touch the control interface for the Soviet simulator. It's very bad. Don't. 1 million rubles in 1986. Yes, and today there is 5.5 billion 659,709,440 rubles in then 114 years. Yes. Whatever that makes works out to. That's the inflation rate that we have here. It's probably very realistic. It's quite awful if you look at the real inflation rate as well as in the real world. Yes, and this game does focus on realism after all. In all its gloriness. Was a hint of sarcasm? No sarcasm meant in a bad way anyway. No. However, out here, you're missing mechanical again. This thing isn't working. This setup, you have a little bit too much of plastics. This time you also need to go and get the electrical components. Well, what that means is that we won't be perpetually building boats. That's okay. We have a few as it stands. Has radiation. No, I don't think radiation will ever drop here. No, it's pretty bad. What about the ships? No, the ships does not seem to be. Although out here, where a ship was docked for a while, with some waste on it, yes, there it has been irradiated. And here, it might not be the best idea to have this ship set to wait until fully loaded every time. It's going to take a while to fill her up. Yes, it is actually. Why do you have a ship for this silly thing anyway? It is maybe a little bit over-engineered or a bit more than what is would be required to get the job done. But it is what we got. That is what we have, So. And then the population, look at the population, it's doing fantastic. It has been so stable now for let's say, escape rate, death rate, it's all great, is what it is. Maybe over here and there's an inoperable hospital, for example, keeping the birth, or rather the amount of children who make it into adulthood down slightly, and so on. But you're operable, your ambulances are working, you have many doctors here. It's okay, we have many workers here too. 23,393 inhabitants in this town, of which 12,613 productive age workers. Yes, lovely. This is just... This was a lot of pain and work to do, all of this. Yes. Yes, it was actually a lot of pain. Painstaking work and detail to do all these little humps and ridges and things. Now, here we are. The metropolitan area of Sjön with it's over 25,000 because there are some buildings which are associated to different towns and so on here. Now here we are and try to enjoy it and this slideshow is not is not enjoyable. Is what we've come to. But yes, all is not lost, or things are not lost. It would be really lovely though if one could enjoy this this little model railway here for what it is, and ride along things and so on. But at 9 frames per second, it's not going to be that much of an experience. And that was an also. How I haven't looked in a while. How large is a save? I have not looked in a while. Let's have a look. Save. Yes, one autosave, for example, such as you did right there. Was that now? No, but it is recently enough to be 2.08 gigabytes is one or one save. And the entire save directory for works and resources 112 gigabytes. Okay. Okay then. Yes, but yes, this might cure my addiction. Because now, how many hundreds of hours have been spent here on TBD. Everything painstakingly laid out and built by hand. Yeah, or if not by hand, by machinery, with the resources and everything. All but the core, or the first, food factory and the first agro farm and a couple of little things. Yes. 200 years, yes. 200 years. What do we have? 9 FPS. Yes, stop griping. In either case, yes, the aim was always to get to a point where it would just work. And it seems to be approaching a point like that. I don't know when we had a train problem before that wasn't related to something that I was trying to do. For example, since building this roundabout out here, not many issues have been experienced around here. No. This was a great addition to the infrastructure. Oh, and there a bus is making its way across the bridge over the lovely bridge across the railroad here. It's fantastic, yes. But I mean, it is just unbearably slow. Computer, are you doing something else? No. You're doing Soviet 64 is what you're doing. 4109.5 megabytes of memory. Yes. There's plenty more available should you want it, but I don't think you want it or care to. Yeah, well. Because this is not. Should I try and restart the game? Maybe it's gotten up to something, because this feels a bit too bad. Yes, I shall try that. I shall try and do a little reboot of the game and see if that brings anything. Yeah, well, I suppose we try and resume here. It's now restarted. I don't know. Is there a difference? But very much doubtful, I think. Yeah, but the cursor is slightly more responsive. It isn't worse, put it that way. It is not worse. That's something. Yes. We're going to make it worse by going around. Yes, if we only sit around out here, by a little field, maybe we can enjoy the activities here in the field. No, we can't. But what I suppose remains then is to attempt some serious, long, extended simulations, Soviet, Marxist, Leninist simulations here in TBD. In 10 years, unattended, without dipping below 100,000 people. Do we think that is even remotely feasible? No, but here's an airplane in the sunset, I believe it is, or if it's sunrise. 77112. Okay. Yes, we can see palace of Soviets over there too. Very good. But they haven't. Can you say that I've broken the game yet, or won the game? I suppose I have won the game at this point, right? Not that it ever gets won as such, but this is pretty complete. I think we have everything. We had everything about 170 years ago, with 70,000 people less, except seasons. Yes, about there. Yeah, and also we had a slightly better experience, but we did not have as much stuff. No. It was pathetic. Yes, pathetic. This what was back then. Now it is not pathetic no more. No, now it is great. This is already burned down once. Now this place is, yes, well staffed and an insane amount of people. Yes, excellent. We have like 400 people in total spending their time around here, walking back and forth between this bus platform and this is also what is we can verify once and for all, I think, because this place, if we find, yes, if we find this thing, the dosimeter, yes, there is quite irradiated here where you're walking around, and I do not think that your health is affected. It's only if you live. It's like the pollution. It's only when you live in the area that your health is adversely affected. Well, yes, I haven't timed it compared to anything else, but I'm pretty sure that TBD here, running at full speed like so, that the time actually progresses rather much more slowly, i.e. the dates pass by in relation to time in the real world as it passes here, than it would do if one were to just load up a completely blank map and hit the fast forward button. Oh, wouldn't you know it, we have a few snowplows that are a bit sad and confused. Would you go home maybe, and maybe you too? Oh, I suppose that's nice. And we caught it. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's all I mean, if I were to do the parking attendant bit again, you would all lose your car privileges here, not you. Good job, very good. But this, what the hell have you done here? And you, I mean, yes, this we don't know who started this or how it ended up like this. But it's just hopeless at this point. You just leave your car somewhere in the vicinity of the parking lot and hope that you can, in a way where you can get it in, and hope that you can also get it out when you need to. Otherwise, you'll have to do something else for that day and wait until it opens up. But this one, what the hell did you? What were you thinking? Timur Janovic. I'm getting, my. I don't like you, Timur. No. You have a car which you have parked so incredibly inconsiderate. Oh, someone keys it, or everyone, and you're not even using it. You're standing around at the bus platform or a bus stop. We are taking this car from Timur Janovic as parking attendant again here, but this is not acceptable. It just isn't. Where can we put it? Anywhere really will do here. There you go. You do not own a car anymore. Such is life. Sometimes. Maybe it's a bit cruel to just take people, but I mean seriously, be parking like that. What the hell is wrong with you? Oh, yeah. No, much better. People have already got it. Or was it? And it wasn't that one, was it? No, it's another one. And let's try and look away from how the people are parking. And here, no ambulances are being used for some interesting reason. Yeah. And you actually managed to sow almost all the fields out here. It is just these that you don't quite make it too bad. I think that's fine, I think that's fine. I think that's completely fine. We have how much crops do we currently have in the central enormous crop storage? Oh, even this one. Yes, this one. What's this? It is loading. It is taking crops to stage. Okay. 1700 tons here in April. It's not great, but not terrible. In there it's pretty much full. That's very good. How's it doing up here in this food system? They have 9,000 tons and one more place to check how it's all doing with the crops. 2.3 kilotons of crops in there. Okay, yes, I think that we are caught up. And in a few years we will even have a cache or buffer crops. Which is neither too large nor too small. It will be just right. Okay, this is now in bad balance again because meat has started to build up here. This is not good. This is not okay. This we should get rid of, which has been suggested many times before, since it is quite... yes, I hate this fucking building. Is what I do, because if you fill it up with meat, there is no way. Yes, you need half a twin reactor nuclear power plant or one nuclear power plant to keep the meat fresh in there. That's what the person who did this thing didn't think of, is that there is actually no way to supply that much power to play. So don't actually allow the thing to store up anything, because then it will completely sink your electricity grid in the vicinity of it here. Yes, I'm not that mad about it, but it is annoying because I don't know what to replace it with. No, I don't. A stock one won't do. We need more parking spaces. Well, okay. How many trucks are currently going here? Okay, that many. Fine. How many are going here? 3. Okay. Well, first of all of you that are currently going there, you could instead be getting your stuff from here. That's one less. De saliga, okay. Whatever. Good luck with that. So 6 and 1. You already have 2. What's this about? Ah, you're at the depot. It's about nothing. You also get to go here to load instead. Load. Don't. One more. You also go here, load. And not. No, not that. Yes. Okay. So what we do now is we remove this this bit. Wrong. This. There we go. That should, allow the meat here to empty out. Okay. If we can be bothered waiting around for it, that is. Yes, of course we can. It's a precious resource here, meat. Yes. Though if some trucks would just like to show up and get some, that would be good. I'm not so sure that the trucks are super keen on it now. No, because we have moved so much meat production away from here that, I mean, seriously, we provide, for example, Bavkavysk Road Cargo Station 2. Yes, that's here. That's this place. Poloshevo small shopping center. Yes, first small shopping center ever built. And there's Molna, also directly to the shopping center. Okay. Alvaret, also directly to the shopping center. You could at least come here now, because you're about empty. You could also come here now. And what else? Yeah, you have only 3 tons. Space for 3 tons. You're also Poloshevo small shopping center. Okay. This is all local stuff, baby, really. What do you have anything that... De Saliga, that is a bit of a ways away. That is the furthest one that is utilizing this as a source of meat, but so all in all it doesn't add up to a whole lot of people if compared to what the other meat industry up here is doing. Basically nothing. You got some. You got some more. And well, tearing this down and putting in a regular freezer. Hopefully we can get that to reach with the factory connections. It is a bit doubtful. Anything else heading to the building? Yes, there are 2 more. Somewhere. Culture capital. Is culture capital being fed by meat? Yes, I think so. One truck on the way up to culture capital from here. Yes, they were supposed to be vegetarians, but I didn't have the heart in the long run to keep them vegetarian. For a long time though, they were. And for sometimes they have been too, perhaps not as intentionally as other times. It varies. And if you're going from Nosalia, then I think that you have a little bit of time before you get here too. Yes, should we demolish this? Yeah, okay, yes. We managed to get about 15 tons of meat out. Oh, here comes something. This looks like a meat truck to me. Yes. Oh, another 4 tons there. Very good. Yeah, I think that we tear you down now. Goodbye. Thank you for your service. That was a long time ago that building was created. Built. Okay, so instead, if it would please everybody here now, which I sincerely hope it would, it may well not, because I would need you to in order for this to work, somewhat too much of a hassle and problem. I see. There are. I've been moving grass here by putting in mud footpaths underneath that building. So, because that hope that we can get something better, please. But no, it's too far away. Yes, it is too far away. But it should be about here somewhere is where it should start thinking about connecting. No, yes. Okay, well, there is always the universal solution then, I suppose. It is only slightly overused. How many of these we have now? Yes, but this works, and it will provide a great buffer of meat in this meat system too. And we can hook up high voltage directly to it. So there you go. Sounds like we're building another one of these then. Yes, indeed it does. Where is it? It is in storage, which is right there. Modified covered storage, covered waterfront storage. Oh. Here. Yeah, it is quite large though. Maybe it is a bit too large. Well, the trick that we're trying to accomplish is, of course, to keep the existing road cargo station and meat factory and everything else in here intact, you know. At least as much as is possible. Although this is not going to do that, sort of. At least not like that. What about if we spin it around? Well, no, these are quite large. Large warehouse. There is nothing else that has storage for meat, I don't think. No, we have now ruined the meat industry and distribution. What's this? Small combined vehicle storage. 300 tons of meat. What's this? This sounds a bit along the lines of the other one, but maybe slightly smaller. If okay, you don't have exactly the same layout with your factory connections there as we had on the other one, but maybe we could get something here. What about? Pretty much. Yes, I mean it's not pretty, but it will do. It will do. It will most definitely do. $43 million for a little bit of road. As this rail, do we care about bringing the railroad in here? Maybe we do. Maybe we do. We did put quite a lot of effort into it previously, building it out here. Yes. That we did. We can see what can be accomplished, if anything. I think something could not be accomplished here because it's... As it is a bit of a cliff that it goes off. If it will allow us to do something about this cliff, maybe. But if it doesn't want to no, screw you. This will not have a rail hookup. But yes, and did you have like electricity connection, or how did you know? You only have 300 tons of meat, right? That should be fine from the regular grid, which you are hopefully close enough to. Yes, close enough to this. which seems pretty unloaded for the moment. But it is actually amazing that no trains have locked up for such a long time now. I hardly believe it. And we haven't had any famines or deaths or escapes or anything due to trains being late or off schedule or some such for a significant amount of time. Really. Yes, why you sound so surprised? Because it's rare, put it that way. Yeah, and the nuclear waste for fuel situation here is doing okay. You're loading up the waste there. In here, where you it has not been sitting around for long enough to cause any radiation build up just yet here. That's good. And that ought to last you a while. And you here at Bellerud cargo train station. How much do we have? We have a bit. Yeah, we do. Especially this place which of the factories it must be the one down in Slåpetask. Yes, indeed. That's where it's made. The other one, they don't have quite the same surplus. And so left you drunk people. How are you doing? Well, actually quite reasonably sober. What the hell? Are you ill? The people working in the brewery completely sober? Okay, Gottfried, good. 100% drunk, 100%. Yes, it might even out. You do have 3 children after all, so maybe it's good you try and keep somewhat sober. But the distillery does not appear to be creating any severe pollution. Here, 65 years average age is also maybe due to their drinking habits slightly. Okay, I'm still not going to hook up that to electricity. Not that I think it was that made the game not load, but it could have played a role. Yes. Okay, so the nuclear cycle now is complete and finished and is working. Let's do a check from source all the way. Well, from source is here. Yes. People come in on this. Mm-hmm. They go down into the mine. The uranium ore is supposed to come out here every now and then. The thing is that the heap is full. Yes. Oh, and it goes into here. Yes. Where is only 21 people working, regrettably. And then it goes into here, and then it goes into Either there or another place just like this, the other factory. Yes. Then it goes to the power plant. Here. Power plant, yes. Here. Gets stored here, gets taken to the power plant. What gets not stored here gets put on a train, gets put down in the great buffer down there. Yes, waste is picked up at the places that produce it. Also the heating plant up here, of course, at the sjön. Not forget about the heating plant, very important. Yes, this, you get it from Bädre. Yes, indeed, you get it from down there in the corner. So we better make sure to have enough for you available, but we will. Yes. Okay. Well, that's about it then. Sure. I mean, yes. Look at my lovely model Marxist-Leninist society here. It is working flawlessly. I want to go enjoy it. Yes. Look at the nice ambulance making its way through town here at 8 FPS. Did you just go for a refuel? No. Person might have died or something. Actually, look at that. That's not too bad. But I think that I've gotten, one gets so desensitized to this experience. As if anything, I should stop going on about it constantly. Yes, I am a bit perseverant, both in many ways. In many ways. Is there anything? That's one thing to do as well. We could have we could stress the video encoding and decoding things a bit. If you want to do that, but that's not really what we're here for. We're still here for workers and resources. Yes. But this is just insane. But all these power lines for 100,000 population, it does not sound... It doesn't seem quite right, this. And admittedly, yes, it could be better organized. Sure. But we often hit like 115, 20 megawatt load on this. So we need each and every hookup high voltage output it has. How much nuclear fuel here? With 730 tons, okay. Good. That's good. Friends, I don't know what to say anymore about this. I'm at a loss. I've been down the rabbit hole of performance now for a bit too much, and it's not going to make enough difference to be worth it. It is what I'm thinking. Anyway, I would love to be proven wrong about that. I really would. Because if this is it, in the end, this is now perfect Marxist-Leninist utopia here that we have accomplished in the Soviet simulator. Sure, 100,000 is a bit arbitrary high number. We could have... we were completely self-sufficient with everything at 30,000 people, I think. So you could consider that end the game or something. But this, I think it's pretty cool that we have 100,000 people and that we are supplying We're growing all the crops for all the food for them, and all the beer and all the everything, all the chemicals and all of it. Yes, we're doing ourselves, and there are so few safety valves in the system. One could always a way of doing a safety valve. Yes, for example, at a shopping center like this, you can tell it to auto purchase stuff when it runs out, for example. So it will never run out of food as long as you have money. And then you would never have any catastrophes to deal with and so on. Would you? 473 workers on the 11th of May. Rolling out. ED72 here. Come on. No, it's just too painful. I don't know. I think, yes, the nuclear fuel cycle, yes. That was for that bit. For the other bit. Yes, it takes the UF6 from here down to another factory there. Takes it from that factory, puts it here. The Ringhouse, the other nuclear fuel plant, nuclear power plant, yes, about here. Here is where it is, yes. There's a train going from here to there. There's a place for vehicles to store the fuel there. They have fuel for probably 20, 30, 40, 50 years or something. I don't know, a lot. Waste is then put into a space here. There's a train waiting. When the train is full, it has one wagon. It goes up to the harbor here where there's a great ship waiting. Maybe unsafe to wait until loaded, but anyway, that's the way it will be. And every now and then, when this ship then is full of waste, it will sail it out onto the ocean. And considering the price again that we pay to get rid of all that crap, it is suspiciously cheap to get rid of. Yes, and should we? No, I'm not going to say goodnight, but I'm going to say to take a break here again, and we'll be before we do. We're going to get one of those, and then we take the break. And yeah, we resume here with. I noticed the train was standing at a little bit of a wonky angle. I hope it's doing all right and everything, and that we'll be able to haul it out of here eventually. I think so. I don't think it's a problem, No, it's fine. Of course it's fine. What else would it be? Non-fine? But no, it is fine. I'm pretty sure. Cheers. Yes, cheers. Yes, indeed. What the... Yes, you're standing around here with nuclear waste. This is all the nuclear waste that we have generated so far in... I don't know how long it is. A while. That we've been doing this setup, had this setup and so on. Yeah. But I was thinking here, in the break, that I am not feeling finished with TBD here, the world as such, because it is complete. It is fantastic. It is great. Even the high voltage network is maybe not great, but it is functional and significant, if anything. Very much significant high voltage grid. not grid, network. Yes, it's not grid. Yeah, and we have so much railroad, so much road. I mean, there's a proper network of both rail and road, and rail, road, and road, and so on. Network. That is just ridiculous. And at a time like this, I would like just to sit back and enjoy a bit and ride the rails, for example, such as this. Now, what do we have here? You're on your way to load up. What are you doing? Ah, yes, you bring fuel from Sayov, the stuff that does not get used in Oskarshamn. You put down there in Balder corner here. Down here. You put this. How are they doing here? Ah, quite alright. Are you now at such a point that you cannot fit any more on here? Then you couldn't really fit a whole lot more than you could on a regular one, you know. Oh, that's annoying. Yes, but we can put the train to go in to this one instead. And it will do alright, I think. Yes, go there. Unload. Although this is very much dangerous because this is not the schedule we can have like this, because now it's we have asked the train to go out of here and then into there as its next stop, and it will probably find it easiest to flip around at about when it has passed this point, such as about now? No? Okay, then it uses the roundabout, I suppose. That's good. Now we could have it like this. As long as you use the traffic rules, all is fine. Oh, where did you go? Oh, yes. You're coming out here, very good. Then you ought, that must mean, should, ought, could mean that it is going over here, using this piece of infrastructure to turn around and then go to that place. Okay, yeah, so that will spread out the nuclear fuel slightly. Mm-hmm. Yes, it will. It is now March. Yes, we have started sowing. How did we do last year? Because it's been about a year. Not since we started, but it's the year we were on, I think, when we joined here this evening. It has now been finished. So the new farm and everything has been established for an entire year. So now last year's number. 44,500 tons of crops we made. Consumption. Where are you? There are 40. Very good. That should mean that the over time ought to build up eventually. Yes. By about 4,000 or 5,000 tons per year on average, as things stand right now. Yes. One thing that we could be doing differently, not saying it would be better, but differently, is Up here, yes, into here, we have a bit of an inconsistency in the crops supply, because the way it works here is there is one train, sädleverans järnväg, but you don't really go from the central place. You go directly from here to the central, to out there, to sjön. Yes. And nothing else brings crops into here. There's 1,875 tons of cows. 36 tons running around. Yes, that's nice, I suppose. By the way, I seem to recall doing quite severe stuff. Oh, pardon me. Quite severe stuff to the meat industry here. Yes, nothing's going on. No, because because of multiple issues, really. But I don't know why haven't they gotten any further on this. You're missing steel. How? How's that even possible? The steel mill is on the other side of the mountain here. Yes, and there's a tunnel and everything, and you have. How can this not be completed? It was a long time ago. This is odd. There is an open hull on the way. Yes, there is. But it is aha. I see. What would we have here then? If it isn't a few snowplows that has ruined it for most of us. Or all. As you see, that's not going to be a perpetual Soviet simulator, is it? Okay, no. You know, what you could do is some. Yes, come on. I mean, if we were to do that and then remove that bit, no, it might do something different. Yes, so that would be why that construction has taken very, very, very long time and not really gotten anywhere. No. Which is also meaning that this is currently, not working a whole lot. No. And there are cows standing around everywhere that they can be fitted. But now because yes, of course, everything else is here that we just need a little bit of steel. And you're moving 60 kilometers per hour. You're heading to the cargo station. Very good. Yes, should we go down here and have a look at things? Have a look at the slideshow of the Republic. So with all the AI and interpolation and everything, couldn't we fill in the gaps here and make it some? It will probably turn out quite, fuzzy. It may be smooth, but it would probably also be quite unsettling. Yes. Oh, look at the nice smokestack up there from the heating plant. And I suppose the other is steam or something that we're venting off. No, we're not 100% efficient. But we're something. There we have some steel. Very good. How much steel do we have? It's 9.5 tons. Which is exactly what they need, incidentally. Even a little bit more, I think. I think that the game is actually running slower. Not only, that the frame rate is slow, but the simulation is running slower. And very funny that if you run it at high speed, the voltages change. For example, at the nuclear power plants, they change from 107, 108 kilovolts to like 90, run at high speed. I think that we are a little bit beyond what is intended for the game engine, but I mean it is doing it. It is struggling hard, very, very hard. It is struggling to get all this thing together in all the detail there is. Very much struggling, so much struggling that it is not quite enjoyable, really. It is mostly annoying. And as I've said so many times, I mean, why use the tunnel? Which is level and everything, when you can use the perilous mountain pass, which is more or less a sheer cliff, or at least very, very, very steep. Yes, do an overtake on that mountain road. Very nice, very safe driving there. Only one worker, only. Yes. Nikita. Need to be careful here with Nikita. She 60%. She is very grumpy. I would imagine so. Being, having her life put at risk just for going to work. Because the bus driving algorithm is insane. Now we're taking on a sheer cliff downhill thing. Yes, there we go. Steel has now arrived. All of the things here. Almost except for the roof. Or whatever it is, the last bit there, but everything that I have to lay the bricks is here. Yes, and $175 million worth of workers and resources later we will be finished with this. And I would think and hope, if this works sort of as intended, at least, yes, that it would simply start accepting the meat from here into there, and then the trucks will be loaded with the meat. Don't you think? I hope so. I really do. Hope so. How are you doing? Are you doing great? Which is definitely what we like to see. Crop delivery, Iron Road 1. Yes, that was the thing about that one. That since it doesn't go by the central thing, it goes directly from one. Yes, if we bring up the map. So, it goes to there. Where it keeps all the is it not around here? So instead of going to the central place, which is about here or here, which is about here, is where the central grain storage is. Yes. Okay, we could either take it all into the central and then take it out of the central to there, then all 3 food factories and food industries would have the same shot and the same source, really the same base of crops. And this is now completely, this is quite independent because it gets its crops directly out of here, not going through the central system. It's also quite isolated to what it supplies. I think it supplies basically itself and the last town is what it does. If I'm not mistaken. So for them, about many things. Especially the ones I don't think I am mistaken. Anyway, yes, you're working. You see, these have all been sown. There's only like 1 or 2 here that are a little bit too far away, but we'll do right with that. And these they're working on manually. Fantastic. Yes, it did take up quite a lot of space, this setup, but I like it a lot. We have the train queuing system. Yes, 1 train at a time, so plenty of people have time to gather up here. We send it, we wait, so there's only 1 train at a time that gets until it gets to this point. Maybe we should move that semaphore just a little bit to about there, so that when just about as the train rolls into the station here, the train will also be rolling into the station here, rather than after that it has left the station up there. That will make a little bit of difference. Yes. Yeah, I think that this town is actually growing now. Somewhat. How many are you? 5,500. Yes, you are growing. And heat you're producing 240 gigajoules maximum. Even the little kid, that was good. The kindergarten was reached. They'd have a bad time otherwise here. Yes, but this is all great. Yes. School, also good. Not everyone needs an education here. You work in the fields, and you work, at the hospital and at the Ministry of Finance, apparently. Yes. So not everyone needs a fancy education. But actually, and this might not sound credible, but I have no further plans here. I have no more big projects. it was the nuclear cycle, fuel cycle, and that's taken care of. It starts there and it ends, well, it ends out there eventually. Costs a little bit, but through an incredibly overly complex system, it goes on a ship here. Like so. The waste, fuel, we have many buffers built in, both here and there, and so on. This place doesn't quite have a buffer though, the heating plant. Maybe that should have a local buffer as well. We certainly do like building stuff out here. The only problem is of course that I don't think it will have a factory connection. No, it doesn't have any factory connection whatsoever. No, it only has a rail connection, so that's what it will get. Yes, we won't have a local buffer. You get your fuel from down here. I think that there is usually enough available, or there will be soon. How are you doing out here, for example, at this fuel fabrication factory? That is we're getting to. It's over this mountain. Here it is. You're operating without issues. You seem to have a lot of UF6 laying about here, which I suppose is good. And there you have the truck with the stuff going over there to unload there eventually when the train arrives. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. And when it gets out of control completely, it can overflow into a mess here that will never sort out. Crap. However, this truck I think will only get nuclear fuel from this when it has started, overflowing into here and then gotten mixed up with these things. Then it can become a bit complicated. We can't nothing. No, that means that we throw it away. I think that's not good idea to do. Can you do that with the waste? No. What happens? Well, what happens if you try and do that with a waste container? Such as this. Really said. Containers with waste can only be sold when delivered to customs. So I cannot throw it overboard. We can throw fuel overboard. Though, why we'd want to do that? That's very stupid. We wouldn't, of course, but you can. Yes. Okay, what do you think is a good view for an eternity? The thing is that it will go by so fast and so quickly that it's fields are one thing to look at because they will change. Something such as this. This is not a bad view. That's a lot of fields. You can even see, look carefully, you can see some trains. You might even be able to see, but no, because I also need the demographic thing open, So, and if we can be without those ugly things, those signs, then why not? How about that? Yeah, I think that's one way of doing it. Either that or if you want a more desolate place, go and have a look, go sit over by the new place. But no, we are a little bit low on the population. You know, it has dwindled a bit. I wonder if any particular town has had or is having significant issues. So Lefty, this is right for you. Donsolia, right for you. It's a bit low for you. I don't know why. You're a bit unhappy for some reason. I don't know why. You've been like this for many years now. I don't care. Polohevo. You're also a bit unhappy. You don't have... Yeah, you see, this is probably you don't have a lot of electronics. No, you're unhappy, you're uncultured. And maybe also look at the yeah, it may well be, but it's alright. Allvaret, 3,800, this is no good neither. No, and it's down to the same thing. Lack of electronics, which in turn brings lack of culture, which in turn makes them quite grumpy actually, or does not give them the happiness boost they usually get. Why aren't we keeping your shopping centers here with electronics? Because it's set very, very, very low, maybe, but it hasn't always been this bad. Oh, they might be extra grumpy now since they don't have any meat. Because there's nothing else catastrophical going on. No. But why don't you have any radio and television here? Where are you supposed to get your radio and television? I have absolutely no idea, you know. Polohevo Medium Distribution Office, for example. Yes, at Polohevo Warehouse 2. It's empty. That's not good. Yes, this is a bit of a knock-on effect on this thing. Having been here for a while now as a work site, because it has taken a lot of workers out of the food industry who would normally not get off here. They have gotten off here now to work here, to wait for a steel truck which never came. Meanwhile, this train has been sitting in here for quite some time. And whilst doing so, preventing transfer of food from here to here. Yes, this is quite important. Because this is the place which supply, you know, all the local places get their stuff from. That this is not good. Ugh. And no electronics neither. Where do you get? You don't get it there, and you explicitly not get it there. So here, then, no, here, Allvaret Road Cargo Station. You say you're supposed to. There are 24 tons of electronics available here, and you can't be bothered, or what? I don't know what to tell you. There is electronics available at the warehouse. There is. Thing is said, oh, okay, yes, of course, this has happened too. Get the hell out of here. I hate you. I hope you rust in hell. You damned piece of crap ambulance. Oh, I mean, in some circumstances, this doesn't happen at all. This street is not, I mean, of great significance. I wonder if it only happens if there is a junction. Yes, a crossing or such crossroads close to the building. Because it would seem that hospitals that don't have any such things close by suffer less. Maybe. Speculating widely as usual, but that's what we do. After all. Okay, so how is this doing? Are you working? Yes, you are working. Very good. Does that also mean that we eventually get trucks leaving from here? We have had trucks leaving from here. Does that then in turn mean that we're getting meat in here? Lovely. Well, what is not so lovely though is the state of the grass here. Yes, we pour some Roundup out there, and it will all be good. Although that other pesticides are available, and I suggest using none. Other than what I do suggest under proper supervision and level of competency and so on, is using a flamethrower as a pesticide. That's very, very safe for the environment. That is given that the operator is capable. Otherwise, it can be very, very unsafe for both the local environment and people and wildlife and everything. Extremely unsafe and extremely bad for the environment, both short and long term. But used right, it is better than pouring chemicals into the ground, Yes, turn it into some charred things. Instead, you now seem to have awoken here. Yes, food has arrived at this place. Yes, that was a close one. That's something where we'd probably would have lost a few people. That would have been, a spike on the escapee number that I would have wondered what was that about. And then it would have taken care of itself eventually, I think, too. And you're about to leave. Very good. Okay. So, well, I think next time here, this food thing will be settled. Crops, we also seem to have a slight overproduction of. So we're back to this then. See if we could get something off the radar. Because, if we can see trains going by, see if we could get both a bit of everything, maybe. Something like this. We can see trains going by here, and if they have stopped, and we should be able to see the progress of some fields, or you could swing around completely and look at it from this way. Although Yes, that looks a lot better, but then we lose all the stats. Yes, that's probably quite nice too. Or we can look at the oil refinery, and it's spewing out of smoke here, like that, and just have that going. We actually use like the capacity of more or less an entire oil refinery in fuel domestically. Yes. It is a bit, yes, but no, it's not very seasonal or such. Also, it is a very complicated area to be around, it would appear. Yes, and then of course we have this, which is a bit special area. Also with sunrise and stuff, but that will be so quick. No, that's too boring. We go back here. This was a good place. You mean where we were? Yes, exactly. Because this allows an overview of the railroad, and so it's obvious where the problem has occurred. If the railroad is involved in a population killing event, a population decimating event, maybe, then the trains ought to be standing around here. Yes, something like this. I'm trying to get as much of the railroad as possible, and also, a bit of fields mostly, though there is just a big lake. Yes, but that's what we're going to have. That was a bit loud, so it will be difficult to line up to, but anyway. Yes. Dear friends, thank you so very much for watching. I suppose we now... I have probably forgotten, like 100 different things here, all over the place. But what the hell? Let's give it a go. 10 years, do you think we can make that? It is 2101. Yes, should we see? Try and make it to 2111 then. This is going to take like 24 hours to run. I'm going to take take a power meter and put it on and see how many kilowatt hours it takes to simulate this Marxist-Leninism, and send the bill to I don't know who would pay for it today. Karl Marx. I'll send it to Karl Marx somehow, or Lenin, or something. I don't think it would be that expensive to actually to do a bit of Soviet simulation here. Oh. Dear friends, thank you so very much for watching, and good night.